Welcome to We Repair Stuff. So I have just received an iPhone 6 Plus on the post this morning. It was in a pretty dire state. I bought it off of eBay. It was smashed to bits pretty much. The screen was hanging off, so the guy who sold it to me said, "Do I want the screen?" So I said no. Just send me the back of the phone and the home button. So hopefully he's done just that. So it's going to need a little bit of work to get it up together yet. We just got the back of the button. So it looks pretty tidy at first glance. The back's a little bit scratched as expected. The inside's a little bit dusty where it's sort of been smashed to pieces, but all the connections and things look absolutely fine. Looks like there might be a tiny bit of water ingress there, but hopefully a bit of a clean and it will sort that out. So we will get the screen replaced and fire it up, and hopefully it all works and we've got a nice cheap and cheerful iPhone 6 Plus to use. So there's a couple of different types of screens you can get. I've got a black one with none of the parts included, no mid-frame, no camera. It's just completely bare, and you've got to set it all up yourself. So you need to do a total build. Versus another one that I've already pre-prepared. So I've got a white one as well. I've already pre-prepared it, so I put the metal mid-frame on. At the top there you can see I've got the camera and the speaker. All the screws I've already put in place, so it's completely ready to go, versus the black one that hasn't really got anything on it. So we've got our back, and we've got our button, and we've got our screen ready to go. So the next thing we need to do is fit our home button onto the screen, and then once we've done that, we can fit the whole screen assembly onto the phone itself. So the button is really simple. You just line it up with the two little sort of plastic dots that are on the screen, and then pop the connector down onto the iPhone Flex, iPhone button Flex, and then there's a little metal plate which I will try and show you, but it's quite a small thing that you pop over the top of the whole thing. It keeps the assembly in place and screws down with a couple of screws to hold it all in place so the button doesn't move. So this is the plate. Is rather difficult to see. So we've got two screws just to hold that in place, plus the one on the bottom of the frame. So that's the home button fitted. As I say, just a few screws and it holds it all in place. It looks okay. Only other thing to do is give it a quick press and just make sure it presses firmly. Otherwise, you might need to loosen the screws a little bit if you're not getting a proper press down on the button. Next thing to do is to fit the screen back in the phone. Again, really straightforward job. I'll try and zoom it in a little bit so that you can actually get a bit more of a view of what's going on. Cables can sometimes be a little bit tricky to get in. Just go biggest to smallest, so top to bottom. You can really only put it in one order because you'll get cables in the way if you try and connect them up in an alternate order. Some of them can be a little bit fiddly to align, and will take you a couple of attempts, like the one I'm doing now. It sometimes takes me an attempt or two to get that to connect up properly. Always keep the screen at a little bit of an angle while you connect them. You might need to lean it up a bit when you get to the last connection. Then over the top we put a metal cover plate that comes with it. You've got 5 screws that holds it into place. Now I bought this as part of a fitting kit with the home button from eBay. I will try and link it in the video notes below. The next thing we've got to do is set the screen in flat. Now, I'll try and show you this. Across the top of the phone there's a little lip You can just make out, sorry, my camera's a little bit blurry. But essentially you need to align that little lip up the top lip of the phone. So you sort of put it in a slight angle against the top lip of the phone, and it will almost click into place. You can just see it, there you go, and it's clicked in. And then from there you need to drop it flat. You will need to give it a bit of a push around the edges, because you'll feel like you're forcing a little bit, but you won't be. And you'll just hear it click, and then it will drop into place. Once the screen is all in place, just make sure there's no gaps around the edges. And then we need to pop in the 2 screws at the bottom. Again, they came as part of the fitting kits. So you buy it all as one kit with all the metal brackets and things. So I've got more brackets than I need. But you'll need those 2 screws to hold the screen at the bottom. It will stay firm without them, but you do need it really. And it just screws into place. And then hopefully this has got some charge in it. We can just turn it on. So we will give it a go. Worst case scenario, I'll have to charge it up a bit to test it. But let's turn it on and see if it comes to life. And there we are. So that's the screen replaced on the iPhone 6 Plus. It's a very straightforward process, as I say. It should hopefully just turn on and work now. Hopefully there's no iCloud lock or anything on it. But we'll just wait for it to fire up to confirm. And there we go. One phone all working.